Satnam, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. And can you comment, put in the comment box that you can hear me okay? I'm just going to get out of this. There we go. Get out of my... Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, let me just get my comments up here. Is everybody feeling this full moon energy? It's intense. It's right on my sun. I'm a 25-degree Taurus. Sun, yay, okay. It looks like people hear me. Yeah, good, okay. So let's get started. So I wanted to talk about Pluto moving into Aquarius. Pluto moving into Aquarius. Okay. So in terms of, I'll make sure that you guys can see that. Okay, I'm in preview. Okay. Why is that doing that? Just bear with me here. I see. I'm like in a hall of mirrors here. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay. So this is all about Pluto moving into Aquarius, which is a major milestone on the evolution of humanity, because this marks a whole new 20-year cycle. We're on a new timeline when Pluto enters into Aquarius. This is for the final time. It came in on January this year, and then went back to Capricorn, and then it went back in March for a little while. No, it went from January to March. And it's interesting, that's when all the AI stuff started coming out. And then it went back into Capricorn, right? And then it's back into Aquarius here on November 17th, my time. So this is huge. So you've got to look at, since 2008, Pluto has been in Capricorn. So depending on your chart, where that would impact you. And basically Pluto wants you to transform and come into truth wherever it touches. So I'm sure that you are a different person since 2008, and certainly we are as a humanity. The other thing to note too that I thought of today was when Pluto went into Capricorn, that's when the iPhones came out. If you go back to 2008, that's when they really came out strong. So I expect that we'll probably have some kind of new technology coming out very soon as well. So in terms of human design, because I work with human design, you can see here, there's Pluto is still in the 60th gate. So this is the chart, this is the transit chart and the exact time that Pluto goes into the zodiac sign of Aquarius, right? So it's still in the 60th hexagram right here. Right, and then I just looked at my ephemeris, and it goes into the 41st hexagram. So you know the Mandela wheel, there's the 60, and then the next number after 60 is 41, and that's the start codon. Right there, there's the 41. So whenever you see 41, it's the beginning of something, right? It's the beginning of a new human experience. Our human experience, and it goes into the 41.1 on January 30th, 2025, and it's there for how long is it there for? It's going to be there. It's not there permanently. It's there until August, so January until August, because it goes retrograde, Pluto, again. So in human design, that's going to be really the beginning of a whole new cycle, is when Pluto moves into the 41st gate. So we're going to really feel that in January, right? In January 2025. So where did I want to go with this here? Let me get this thing off. It's bugging me. Okay. I know what I want to talk about first is Pluto and Aquarius. So Pluto and Aquarius, let's look at this slide here. So Aquarius, we always think of Aquarius as innovative and its future and its humanitarian. It's right, liberation, it's being rebellious, revolution, all those kinds of words. But we forget, and those go to the ruler, right? So you always want to learn, if you've got your zodiac sign, you want to go to your ruler. So if you're a Taurus, because we're Taurus full moon, then you want to go to Venus, and you'll learn more about Taurus by learning more about Venus, right? If you're Scorpio, then it's Pluto and Aries that you go to. So Aquarius has two rulers as well, right? And so Uranus, yes, we know Uranus, but we forget about this. It's Saturn. Saturn's the ancient ruler of Aquarius, because it wasn't until 1787 that we discovered Uranus in the sky, right? So the ancient ruler is Saturn. So we forget this part of Aquarius, right? People can get a little bit too hopeful about Aquarius. Aquarius is going to liberate us and everything's going to be great. And yes, let's celebrate this marker of time that we're moving through. It's like, yes, this is a time to celebrate, but it's also a time to realize that there's work ahead, right? There's work ahead, because this is the breakdown of this matrix that we're experiencing. We still have to do the rebuilding, and we've got to deal with all these shadows, right, that are coming up, and you're seeing that out in the world. So the ancient ruler is Saturn. So there's like two sides to Aquarius, and you may have noticed that too if you have good friends that are Aquarius sun, moon, or rising, that they have these sides to them. Aquarius can be really, really conservative. They can be repressed. They can be very, very traditional. Like you'll find Aquarians like that too. But then you'll find the Uranian Aquarians, which are different, right? So Saturn, we have to look at, is the past repackaged as progressive, something progressive, right? So we have to look out for this according to this chart, right? The Pluto moving into Aquarius. And this would be like controlling the masses through fear, guilt, and shame. That would be a repack, but we're going to repackage it. It's not going to look like it was in the past, but it will have remnants of the past. Frequency, because, you got to look at, no real change can happen. No real change can happen in the world unless there's a consciousness, unless there's a change in consciousness, a shift in consciousness, or else it's just the same old frequency repackaged, right? So we have to watch out for this, right? Watch out for this. So, with Saturn, it can be traditional, conservative, repression of the authentic self. Groupthink. Groupthink's huge for Aquarius, right? Ruled by Saturn. So this is the hive mind. It's the mob, the chip in the head, right? The chip in the head people that will get that. It's like this groupthink can take over, and that's Aquarius too, ruled by Saturn. Could be a worship of technology. So it's something like worshiping something outside of yourself. That looks really cool, right? It looks really cool and new, but it's the past repackaged as something that's futuristic, and it's not. It's a trick. So worship of technology, science, AI, transhumanism, things like that. This is all about control, right? Control. Looking at the body as a machine, right? This is all ego. And then Aquarius ruled by Saturn can be like into difference. Look at how different I am. I'm eccentric. This is the ego's version of uniqueness, which is I'm just different than everybody else, and it's all surface. There's no substance, right? True authenticity has a lot of substance to it, right? Eccentricity is like, no, it's very, very surface level difference. But when you actually go to the bottom and to the frequency of that, it's mediocrity. It's totally mediocrity. So we have to watch this. So that's the big thing that I see here is this groupthink. Because remember, we have the age of Aquarius, which is really Pluto moving into Aquarius, right? Because it's the furthest planet is Pluto in our solar system. So the age of Aquarius, this is a big move. Where was I going with that? I just lost my train of thought. The age of Aquarius. Oh, I know. That we always have to look at the other side, right? The polarity, and that's Leo. Leo is the opposite of Aquarius. So we need this strong, Leo will give you, remember Mars is in Leo right now and for quite a bit, till the spring next year, is to really get in touch with your authentic self, your true self, your divine child, right? The creator inside you. And then you can move into Aquarius quite safely, this energy. But if you just want to follow and go along to get along and you're in this Saturnian energy, then you're going to be prone to this groupthink. And you'll see when I start to go a little bit through the chart that you'll be very, very influenced by this conditioning field. This is a strong conditioning field, Aquarius. So let's look at the Uranian version, right? So the Uranus version, this is all about the future, right? Saturn's all about the past. It's all about the past. So Uranus is the future, but it's the unknown, right? It's about the present now moment. Are you seeing the sleeping phoenix energy here, right? It's all about being in the now as your authentic self, right? So this is a sleeping phoenix global cycle that starts in 2027 that goes for approximately 400 years. This is the huge mutation that we're going through. So present now moment, that's what Uranus wants you in the present now moment. Uranus is neutral. It gives you that gift of detachment so that you can see. You don't get caught up in your emotions, right? It's also connected to the higher mind. So this is your intuitive mind, your divine mind. This is when you're open to downloads from the divine, right? That are unknown because it's all about the now moment. It's about your true uniqueness, right? Which means sometimes you are a community of one. Uranus will want you to be a community of one if you're around a bunch of this like kind of Saturn groupthink people in that conditioning field. Sometimes the universe will say, you know what, it's time for you to be on your own for a while so that you get to know your frequency. That's what this is, right? Aquarius, that's not water, that's frequency. It's an air sign, right? Aquarius is an air sign, that's frequency. So this is freedom. That's a big word. This promises freedom, right? The Saturnian version of Aquarius promises freedom, but you're part of a group and you all have to think the same, right? This is the Borg in Star Trek. So this is freedom from your past, right? So Uranus is like, yeah, liberation. Everybody gets all excited about it, but it's freedom from the known, right? You're free from the past and you're free from the known. You don't know anything. You can't use your mind in this space, right? Uranus, Aquarius and Uranus, the Uranian version is very intuitive, very intuitive. And so this is not about worshiping technology outside of yourself, right? With the Uranian version of Aquarius, it's realizing that the technology is all inside you. That's where the real technology is coming online, right? Because Uranus rules DNA. That junk DNA will start to get activated, right? Releasing all those ancestral memories. And then our inner technology will come online, right? So it's not about worshiping things outside of yourself. So this can be this kind of the scary version, but this is what's going to liberate you, right? This Uranian. So that's something to be aware of in these next 20 years, is to not get caught up in here, because we're going to see this bifurcation of consciousness. Some people are going to follow this, and some people are going to follow this, right? The Saturnian control through guilt, shame, and fear. Okay. So if we look at the chart, oh, I know what I want to get into. Okay. So this chart, every chart has a motivation. So this isn't a natal chart. It's transit chart, right? The exact time that Pluto moves into Aquarius on November 19th where I live, is each chart has, it's called a motivation. It's called a motivation. So this underlines all the theme of this energy. Let's call it energy, this imprint here. This motivates, right? So you have your own natal motivation, but this is going to motivate all of humanity, right, for this 20-year cycle, because this is like an imprint, right, of like where Pluto is really has come into Aquarius and will stay there. So it's an imprint of this energy. So it gives us information. So the motivation here is guilt, right? The motivation here. So all this is a global cycle, right? So motivated by guilt. And so motivated means that it's not natural to you unless your motivation is guilt, then it's going to be a resonance with you. But chances are it's not, right? Because it can be 1 out of 6, right? So you've got 1/6 of a chance of having this motivation. So this is 5th line, right? Whenever you see 5th line, you're going to see this energy of guilt. Okay, so this is going to be influencing all of humanity. So this is going to influence all these numbers, right? This guilt. And it's also, if we want to look at tone, and that's the mind. This is another thing. So it's active. So it's an active mind here. So if we go to guilt, right? So there's 2 types of guilt. There's conditioned guilt. So that's what we're talking about. So this is an imposition from the external, and this is tribal consciousness. This is how we've been conditioned to be in fear and controlled, to keep you in line, basically, right? So that's the conditioned guilt. So we've got to go to religion, right? Religion is the number one master of this conditioned guilt, right? So a lot of religions teach this, that you're born bad, you're born in sin, you're broken, right? And all you can do is atone and go into false humility, basically, and fear the divine, right? Be scared to death of the divine, right? It's so old, this conditioned guilt, but we still have it in our DNA. And you may think, well, no, I've transcended that. I don't really have that. But as you go deeper and deeper into your own shadow work and your inner work, you will discover this, especially if you're on the spiritual journey, that you have probably spent some lifetimes in religion, and chances are your ancestors as well. So it's like deep within you, this conditioned guilt. So remember, this is a conditioning field for the next 20 years, is control through guilt and fear and shame. And this is a big one, is guilt, right? So this is the you owe me, right? You owe me. If you go right to the root of guilt, this frequency, you owe me what I've done for you, right? And so there'd be no debt. There'd be no debt. The debt that we see on the planet is this. It's really the frequency of guilt. Remember I said the frequency of fear is the money? Money holds the frequency of fear, while debt holds the frequency of guilt, right? So it's disempowering to the self, right? So then we've got natural guilt, right? So again, we're dealing with this conditioned guilt that we'll see out in the world for the next 20 years. And then we've got natural guilt. And this is where it's natural to everyone. It doesn't matter if you're not motivated by guilt or not in your natal chart. This is about a course correction. It's your conscience. It's an internal compass. When those thoughts come into your head and feelings like, oh, I probably shouldn't have said that, or I was a little bit snippy with that person, or I made a mistake, right? You made some kind of mistake, right? So what the natural guilt will come up and it haunts you in a sense, but it's just a signal from the divine. You need to course correct. Maybe you need to go and apologize to that person, right? So that you're right and aligned with your soul again, right? That it's an internal compass. So it communicates to us when we've made a mistake, right? And this is when we betrayed ourself and our divine. Our own sense of what's right and wrong, right? That we all have when we're aligned with our soul. You don't need to be taught what's right or wrong. The divine will let you know when you've betrayed yourself, when you walked away from yourself, right? So that's like the natural guilt. So if we go back to the conditioned guilt that we're going to see, because this is the motivation, conditioned guilt is like the program. This is the conditioning on the planet that we'll see, is we'll be conditioned to fix something on the planet. As a humanity, we'll be conditioned to fix something. Now, is this correct? Well, it depends on you. Remember, this is all about your authenticity. So you always have to go to your own strategy and authority, right? What's your strategy and what's your authority? You want to go back to that. You want to go back to your authenticity for you, and then you make the right decision for you. But I'm talking about a massive conditioning field that we're going to be under, right? About the humanity fixing something. So we want to make sure that it's something that will actually get fixed, that we won't get tricked into giving up our freedom. That would be the Saturnian version of Aquarius, right? Giving up our freedom because, it looks really good what we're doing, but we're actually imprisoning ourselves, right? We're actually giving away our sovereignty. We're giving away our inner authority, right? We're building our own prison, basically, right? So this is not a time to go to sleep, right? Right now, it's not a time to go to sleep. It's about staying awake and alert and going. As long as you're following your strategy and authority, you'll move through these times. Right. So let me see what else I wanted to talk about here. So guilt, conditioning, trying to fix something. And this is manipulation, right? This can be a total manipulation here. Okay. So in terms of guilt, a big theme is forgiveness in these next 20 years is forgiveness, right? And this is a process. Forgiveness is not something you do like, well, I'm doing one meditation or I'm going on a weekend workshop on forgiveness and then I'm done. Forgiveness is a process. It's a process, and it has more to do with energy, right? Forgiveness has more to do with energy than, well, I forgive my earthly mother, I forgive my earthly father, and it's all mental. It's not gonna, this is energetic forgiveness, right? It's giving forth. It's taking the energy from the past, right? The energy from the past, bringing it into the present, and then integrating it, and then letting it go and letting it go. So we're going to see a lot of this because we got the guilt, right? We got the guilt. This is the medicine, is the forgiveness. It's the forgiveness. So forgiving our ancestors, forgiving our past lives, like all the past has to go for us to really enter into this Pluto Aquarius, because remember that we're moving into the unknown. Right? We can't bring the past with us. And especially if you're with Uranus as your intuition, I'm being guided here. So remember that 4323 is activated today. This is the full moon energy. Remember the full moon's activating the 23 in my last video? And then it's connecting with the 43, the sun and the moon and the earth, right? So this 43, the shadow of the 43 is deafness, right? So deafness. So this is when you've got the noisy, worrying mind, right? Noisy, worry mind with complexity. The shadow of complexity, these two, how they work together to keep you in shadow. And that's making everything really, really complicated. And that's what the intellect does, right, that we're letting go of now is this mental awareness system. So you're deaf to your intuition, right? When you're stuck in your head like this. This is another reason we have to let go of the mind, in a sense, is because of the past. The mind is the past, right? The mind equals the past. So that we can be that clear channel for, you know, the downloads and the intuitive insights here. Okay. Oh, I posted this today in case you didn't see it, because it is the full moon. Taurus is all about self-value. That's a big lesson of Taurus, the archetype of Taurus. So this is realizing that how we really pay is not with our money. We're paying with our time and our energy. So generators and manifesting generators, right? You pay with your time and your energy, your life force energy. That's what you're paying for. So like I told them, have said to the MGs and the Gs, would you pay to hang out with this person? Would you pay to be in a relationship with this person? Would you pay them so that you could work there, to look at this is how you're really paying, not with your money. So it's about finding and discovering what has real value for you. And this is a good way to discern it, right? With my time and energy. Because we've been told what to value, right? We haven't discovered that for ourselves. Okay. So this is Pluto. If we go to the tarot card, there's Pluto, the 60.4. And it's connected to the Five of Swords here, the Five of Swords. And this is all about competition, right? Competition. So to me, what this card means is, this card to me means this is about winning, right? So you need to remember why we're on the planet. We're here to merge duality, is to move out of duality. So we live in a plane of duality. Wherever you find one thing, you'll find its opposite. So this is the light and shadow, right? So we're here to transcend duality, and this is winning. And we're so seeing this competition. This is about taking sides, right? The Five of Swords is about taking sides. It's about getting away with something, winning at any cost. You see these two. One looks like he's crying. He dropped his sword. The other one's walking away, and he's got this grin on his face like, look, I won, right? I got away with something. So to me, it means like we're entering into Aquarius, and it's not going to be all rainbow and sunshine, right? There's going to be conflict. There's going to be conflict, and to be aware of not taking sides, right? Oh, good, the 17. Yeah, there we go. There's the 17. You see that? The 17 is activating the North Node, the 17. And the 17 is the shadow of opinion, but it's about really taking sides, right? The shadow of the 17 is about taking sides. And I always see one side or the other, So I see the black hats, I see the white hats, right? It's one side. There's always one and then the opposite. So the 17, the shadow, is about getting stuck on one side, right? And the gift here of the 17 is called farsightedness. So it's like raising yourself up so that you can see the big picture, that you don't get caught up in these sides. This is the masculine brain. It's analytical, it's logical, but it can't see the whole picture, right? So to me, that's what this means when Pluto moves into Aquarius, to watch this, like getting caught up in these sides. And this is this group think, right? It's getting caught up into some kind of group think, some kind of hive mind, some kind of ideology that may or may not be correct for you. It's like a warning of that. But the great thing about the 5 is it's not going to last very long, right, with the 5, but it's about change. So it's remembering that anything that's creativity comes with friction, right? It comes with conflict. It's part of the creative process that we have to expect that. Because this is a time of merging, right? The age of Aquarius is the time of merging. Yeah, and the ego does not want to merge. The ego does not want to merge. The other thing I wanted to talk about is Five of Swords. So this is like arguments, disputes, bullying, intimidation, conflict, hostility, and stress, right? So just don't take on any battle. Like really, this is a time really to honor your energy, right? Honor your energy. And what's worth fighting for? There's the 38. Oh my God, all my numbers are here. And that's Venus, right? This is the part of the channel of struggle. But this is all about what's worth fighting for, right? What's worth fighting for? What's going to be your fight, right? But also be aware of not getting into sides, taking sides. Okay. The other thing too, because we're moving, this is all about change, right? Pluto in Aquarius is all about change. Change is going to be happening very, very fast now. And that what happens, the three destructive forces, there's three destructive forces that we have to face as a humanity when we go through great times of change that we're in right now. And the first one is to deny, right? To deny that anything's happening, right? That there's deny that change is happening, and go into fantasy, right? Go into fantasy land. So this could be like, everything's going to be fine. I don't need to do anything. I can go back to sleep, right? I can go back into my addictions and things like that. You've got to watch that. This is like apathy. It's like an apathy. I don't want to grow. I don't want to evolve, right? I just want to hide. And then number two, right? Number two is, there's one, so deny. And then number two is to hoard, right? Is to hoard or try to exploit this situation. And this would be like getting too caught up in the material, right? In the material realm, get too caught up there. Okay. And then hoard, exploit, get too caught up in the material, too attached to the material. And then deny, fantasy. And then, just a sec. I gotta check something. Let me just check the comments for a second here. Tune in to you guys. Okay. Okay. Thank you for everybody for commenting here. Yeah, if you have got a fifth line in your chart, you're going to resonate with this guilt. Spreading guilt was my mother's superpower. Yeah. Recovering Catholic. Yes. Yeah. I think the Catholics invented guilt, and then the Jewish people spread it. I think that's how it goes, something like that. I'm not sure. Anyway, guilt is in a lot of religions. So if you've got this fifth line guilt thing, you've got to have forgiveness on your lips, right? If you're given the 5, we're going to be given a lot of reasons to forgive, right? A lot of reasons to forgive. So if you're a fifth line profile, you know that. You know that. This is so slow. A sec here. Okay. Okay, it will come up in a gain. Oh. I know. Okay, and the other one is okay. So the three things the three destructive forces that we have to face in times of great change as a humanity is denying anything is happening, going into fantasy, trying to exploit the situation, like hoarding, like all you right. This is like the bomb shelters and the 3 years worth of toilet tissue, like that hoarding thing. And then the third one is the past. Trying to get back to the past, trying to get back to the old ways, and we're seeing that, and that's definitely Aquarius and Saturn, right? Let's get back to the past here, or something that looks like the past that's been repackaged. So we all have to watch out for that. Okay, so let's see here. So I want to look at this. So that's that. So one of the strong, these are strong aspects in this chart here. And this is Jupiter opposing Mercury. So Jupiter opposing Mercury. So there's Jupiter in the 45.2 right there. And then there's Mercury in the 26.4. So this is going to be a theme for these 20 years. So this correlates to the Nine of Swords and then the Ten of Wands. So opposition. So what's really interesting about this is called mutual reception. Mutual reception. So that means this 45, right? Jupiter is in the sign of Gemini, right? The sign of Gemini. And then Mercury is in the sign of Sagittarius, right? So Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius and Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. So that's why it's called the mutual reception. You see? They're like switched here. So the good thing about this, it makes it easy because oppositions are like oppositions and squares. They're a negative. They're a negative energy in a sense. They bring tension, but this eases it up a bit because they'll learn from one another. Mercury's going to learn from Jupiter. Jupiter will learn from Mercury. And Jupiter is in the 18th degree. And this is a really bad degree for it to be in. And it's called the evil degree. So the way I look at not to get into religion here, but evil is just like, it's turning away from the light, right? It's turning away from the light, right? There's no light, there's no love here, right? That's why it's dark. It's a dark degree here. Okay, so this is really significant that Jupiter is in here. And it says we're gonna face hardships with this, hardships here, right? And then we've got the Mercury, and that's in the 20th degree, and that's a scorpionic degree. So this is great change, right? Great change here, these two. And what I see here, so 45.2, this is about the tribal leader, right? So the tribal leader, it's consensus. So 45.2 is consensus here. And then this is censorship, and this is censorship. So what does this say? Facing hardships. This is a tribal leader, right? This is the gathering together, right? Do you see the 45 off the throat here? This is like the king, right? The king energy here. But it's about controlling others because it's the second line. It's about controlling others. So this is education. It's education of the masses. And it's in Gemini, right? Jupiter is in the sign of Gemini, which is all about information. So this is another, like, more information, that's what this is saying. And trying to influence the masses. So there's this energy going on, right? The one's in power because it's Jupiter. Jupiter rules religion too, spirituality. So it could come through that. And remember, we got guilt in there too, right? Motivated by guilt. So this could be some kind of religion. And then we've got this opposing Mercury and Sagittarius. So this is what we're thinking about, right? It's what we're thinking about. And so this is censorship. So this is leaving things out. So it's not really lying. This is how some people say they don't lie, but they omit really important information. This is the forgetting that anything bad happened, right? Anything bad happened. And it's going to cause stress, right? And on the with people, the masses. And it's going to create a lot of anxiety in the masses. So it could be mental health issues too coming up. Because Jupiter, right, and Gemini, we're already feeling it. It's so difficult to keep up with all the information. It can get overwhelming here, right? So this is not telling the collective the truth. So with oppositions, there needs to be, the great thing about opposition, so we got the ease because there's mutual reception, but there needs to be a compromise or an agreement here. Yeah. So this is going to be a really interesting energy that we're going to see with Pluto and Aquarius. These two. But, right, just because it's Scorpio, it's scorpionic degree, that it's going to come with a great change, or like a great change. And then this 18 is going to be we're going to just see it, we're seeing it now, like how this planet works. Right? How this planet has worked in the past, and it's going to come out more and more in the collective. Okay. But again, right? This is mental, right? This is mental. So it's telling us also, like to you guys that are listening here, is not to be relying on your mind to discern the truth. This is overwhelm. This is stress and overwhelm, trying to figure things out with your mind, right? Mercury's the left brain, right? Trying to discern the truth through your mind. You've got to go back to frequency. Have you seen what AI can do now and deep fakes and things like that? You can grab and replicate and just have they could have you, right? You saying something that you've never said before, and it looks like it's true, right? So that's what we don't know. Neptune's going to be in the 29th degree. It's ending. It's coming out of Pisces. It's coming into Aries, right? There's going to be a lot of deception here. That's what this says. But to discern truth, Aquarius, we've got to go to frequency, right? The frequency of truth inside you. That's how you know. There's a frequency of truth inside you, inside me. Anyone who's listening, you have a frequency of truth inside you, and that's how you discern what's true or not. You don't use your two eyes, right? You don't use your mind to discern truth, right? It's all about frequency. So this is why you need to be authentic. This is your authenticity, is this frequency of truth. This is Satnam. Kundalini Yoga, that's your Satnam, this frequency of truth. And then you know what's true and what's not, right? What's true and what's not. So I feel like this energy is like forcing us to go into our authenticity, because this is so, we're going to see so many people with mental health issues trying to get rid of this anxiety, right, in any way they can, trying to lessen the burdens, because this is like a magnification of the information war here. Okay. So this is like, consensus, trying to control people through information, right? Through myth. And this is like the shadow of manipulation. This is the shadow of domination there, these two. Okay. Let's see here. And if we go to, just because we're on this Pluto and Aquarius trip, the Aquarius ruled by Saturn, we got to look at Saturn and then Uranus right there. So there's Saturn up in the 63. And why Saturn went direct today. I'm so excited to have that moving forward in my chart. So this is the gate of doubt, right? So this is the gate of doubt up here, 63. And then my favorite, Uranus, is still in the 8. And this is the gate of contribution, right? The gate of contribution. And I did a whole video on the 1/8, that whole channel, right? So we have to look at this. And Uranus wants to liberate you into your authenticity. That's what the 8 is all about. It's about being your authentic self, right? It's the gift of the uniqueness and style, right? And then Saturn, healthy doubt, right? Healthy doubt. Healthy doubt is like, is this really true? Do I know this is true? Do I know 100% that this is true? Right? It's healthy doubt. And this gets to the truth, right? Gets to the truth here. So I'd look at those things as well. Okay. So, let's see here. What other notes do I have here about this? Anyway, there's lots on YouTube Astrology that talks about Pluto and Aquarius, but I thought I would put my little 2 pennies in here for you guys. Yeah. Okay. I'm just looking at the comments and then we'll do some readings. Okay. What's Jennifer asking? Is the Rebirthing webinar this Sunday? Yes. You can see my little sign up here. So, with the Rebirthing webinar, it's going to be this Sunday, November 17th, 2024. And it's all on this. I'm going to go into the other, because there's other important aspects with this Pluto. Like there's Neptune trining the Sun, the 36 and the 14. There's Pluto opposing Mars, 60 and the 31. Mars trining the North Node. And then the Sun, the Uranus opposing the Sun. So I'll go over that during the webinar. And then the Rebirthing. So the Rebirthing is Kundalini Yoga and meditation, powerful rebirthing, right? So it's about releasing the subconscious, right? The storehouse of misery. So removing your ancestral fears that you've inherited in your mother's womb. We take all that stuff in our mother's womb. The ancestral fears, but whatever fears that she was feeling at the time of her pregnancy with you, you totally take that on in your subconscious mind. Remove the magnetic block from the womb and deeply let go of the attachments of the past, and then birth your true authentic self for this new 20-year cycle, right? So that's going to be like a 3-hour in total, live on Zoom on 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Sunday. And this will get you all set up for this Pluto moving into Aquarius. And so then you get to see, I'm a meditation teacher too as well. And that's one of my favorite things is meditation, because it moves so much energy at the emotional level. So it's very, very emotional. So if you sign up today, and then I'm sending out an email tomorrow with the link and then how you prepare. Okay. And it's really, really powerful. This technology is over 5,000 years old. Very, very powerful. So thank you for asking about that, Jennifer. That's Sunday. Okay. And then, do people feel like that timeline, our timeline changed? Do you feel like it changed? Like maybe November 11th? Do you feel different? I feel so different. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, see, that's Anika. Anika's mentioned the competitive energy. This comes from her ancestors. We had to compete, right? This is like our ancient stuff that we have to let go of. And I talk about this all the time. We've got like this incredible consciousness that's really coming in, that's being born. But then we have these ancient bodies that we have to deal with, right? And with the ancient bodies comes all this stuff from our ancestors that kept us alive. Yeah. So don't beat yourself up about it. We all have this competition within us. Okay. Okay. Yeah, try to attend if you can. And if you can't attend live, ideally you want to attend live because you can feel the energy. You can totally feel the energy. That, because I've taught in 3D. You know what I mean? I've taught these things in 3D lots of times. But I'm more of an online teacher now. I have been for since 2013. It's the same. I feel the same. And people contact me and it's like, yeah, I can so feel the energy. It's real, right? It goes beyond time and space. This is the Saturn. Saturn rules time. It rules the matrix, Saturn and Capricorn. And that's all being broken down, right? Yeah, deep surrender on November 11th. True. Me too. Yeah. So don't grab onto the past. Okay. So what I want to do is do some cards. And I really liked how it worked last time when I just picked one and it was like really fast. I like that kind of pressure to get to the point. Okay. Well, we'll just do a general. I'm just trying to think like what's a good general question to ask is just what to let go of, because we're still in this letting go energy, right? It's the full moon today, and then 3 days after we're still in the full moon energy, right? So this is directly connected to this Pluto and Aquarius energy and getting ready for this new timeline. Getting ready for this new timeline. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to start with the twin flames. Let's do the overlay. Okay. So it's really about about embracing this new timeline. What do you need to let go of to embrace this new timeline? Okay. And there's the twin flames. Okay. That's it. Want to embrace. Mm-hmm. So that would be good exercise for you to do today, is to look at what you value. What's losing value for you? What did you used to value? Right? Go back to 2008. What did I desire? What did I desire way back in 2008? What did I value way back in 2008? And what's changed? What's changed? Okay. So the twin flames, we know one's the runner, one's the chaser. They completely embody this duality that we see on the planet. And one's running from the energy, the frequency of truth, which is unconditional love. And one's trying to chase it down outside of themselves, right? But both have to stop and go inside, right? So coming into balance with the masculine and feminine energy for the twin flames. So let's start off with the chaser, what the chaser has to let go of for this new timeline of growth and evolution. What does the chaser have to let go of? What does the chaser have to let go of? What does the chaser have to let go of? What does the chaser have to let go of? Okay, and then what's the runner? What's the runner have to let go of? Okay. Okay. The Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups. So the chaser to embrace this new timeline is Cancer, right? Cancer, that's the mother. So this is, excuse me. We're talking chaser, 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 the chaser. Okay. The chaser. Okay, so Queen of Cups. They've got to let go of insecurity. Their insecurity. So this would be emotional insecurity. So what does this mean? That they stop looking outside of themselves for emotional security. I need you out there. Maybe I need my twin so that I can feel emotionally secure. Right? I need something outside of me to feel emotionally. This is what's holding you back from this new timeline. So you want to let go of this. You want to give yourself. This is Cancer, right? Queen of Cups is Cancer. You want to give yourself emotional security. Right? So what does that look like? You nurture yourself. This is the mother. Queen of Cups is very intuitive too, the Queen of Cups. So you want to nurture yourself. Don't expect other people to nurture you. Right? You can give this to yourself. That's what the chaser needs to learn. Okay, so there's that, right? You got to let go of. And then number 2 is giving too much. Giving too much. Right? The balance of give and take is way out of balance for you. So giving too much, giving everybody else nurturing everybody else except you. You're like last on the list. You want to let go of this, giving too much. Right? And giving is fine, right? It's not like you're going to stop giving to others, but you want to look at your motivation. And maybe let's look at this, right? Because this motivation is guilt. Maybe you're giving from guilt. That's not real giving, right? That's giving from your mind. That's trying to pay off guilt. Well, I feel guilty about something in the past. And so I'm going to give, right? To try to pay off this guilt. And I'm giving. I'm getting sick. I'm getting resentful. Right? I'm getting bitter, right? Whatever it is, right? You got to look at, why am I giving? Why am I giving? Is my giving clean, right? Am I giving from a clean place for the chaser? You got to let go of oversensitivity. Oversensitivity. This is a big one for the empaths, right? So oversensitivity, that goes to the 19. 19's not activated, but that's definitely a shadow that the chaser and the runner are working through, or codependency. So oversensitivity, you know what I learned what oversensitivity is? When you're oversensitive, when you feel like, I can feel everybody's feelings. I'm an empath. I take on everybody's stuff, right? This means that you are not there. You are not there. What does that mean? That means your authentic self is not there. You're not present in your body. You're not in your body, right? So the universe doesn't like a vacuum. If you're not in your body, then everybody else comes in. Like all that outside energy can come into you. And so this is why you're feeling oversensitive. As soon as you start to empower yourself and saying, I'm present, right? I'm present. I'm not some little weakling, like little fragile flower. I'm a powerful warrior. If you're a twin flame, you're a warrior. You're a total spiritual warrior, right? You're an OG. You're a totally spiritual OG, right? You're a warrior. So I'm going to hold my space. I'm going to embody. I'm going to be in this body. I'm going to be completely present. I'm not going to be in my head and mind in some victim story. Then this energy's not going to get in, right? This outside energy won't get in because you're in there. When you're in there, nothing else can get in there, right? So you want to let go of that. This whole idea that you're fragile, right? That you're a weak little wispy flower. You want to let go of dependency on anybody. You don't want to be dependent, right? So this is codependency. So letting go of codependency. I need something outside of myself to be happy. I need my twin. I can never be happy unless I have my twin. The chaser, that's your number one addiction, is that twin, is to let that go. And then martyrdom, right? Martyrdom. Nobody needs another martyr. I love that quote, right? We don't need it. We need the wood, right? Like come down off the cross here. So we don't need any more chasers being the martyr. We want the chasers, got to let go of all of that stuff. And really, it's this idea of yourself. You need to let go of this idea of yourself that you're weak, right? That you're weak, you're not strong, that you need something outside of yourself. You need a crutch, right? You need a crutch. You don't need a crutch. So letting that go. And start giving that cup, right? There's the Queen. The Queen of Cups. Start giving that cup to yourself, right? That cup of love to yourself. And then look at your mother, right? Because the Queen of Cups can be mother. You learned all this shenanigans. You learned all this stuff from your own mother, right? And what it means to love another person. Martyrdom is not love, right? Dependency is not love. Fragility is not love. It's all wrong. And this is what the Twin Flame Journey is teaching you. Okay, so that's the chaser. And then the runner. And people who know tarot know that one. Three of Swords. Which is interesting, because it can signify reunion too. So remember that it's the runner, right? The runner. So the runner's running away from this frequency. They're not reaching out, right? They're in denial of this energy, right? They're trying to get back to the past. The runner tries to get back to the past, right? The runner is like avoiding this connection, trying to stay out of their heart. Don't believe in the spiritual, just completely obsessed with the material. Right, that's the runner. The runner at their worst, until they come to a tower moment. Right, the tower moment comes in to bring them to this ego, to humble their ego, basically, to go through an ego death. That's the runner and the chaser both go through it differently. So what to let go of for the runner to go on this new timeline? Well, they've got to let go of avoiding healing, right? They're avoiding their healing. They need to forgive. The runner needs to forgive. So other people that have hurt them in the past, right? So this is going to go early, because remember the twins? The twin flames, they really trigger like the deep, deep hurt. The twin triggers that deep, deep hurt from way, way, way back when you were a little tiny tot. When you were a little tiny tot, right? And you had that full heart, right? That full heart. You were just hard on legs, right? Innocent and pure, right? And then through your life, the runner gets that heart broken, and then they start to put the armor up, right? They put the armor up, right? And then they're fighting and they're resisting this energy because they don't want to feel that pain. It's very painful to go through, to have your heart broken as a child, right? So this is about letting go and like healing, right? Feeling grief, the grief. So this is the real healing right here, is to feel the grief from all the losses in your childhood. So the twin really triggers that childhood wounding, like that post-traumatic stress disorder that trauma that comes deep, deep from childhood, right? So this is about releasing the pain. That's what the runner has to do, is just like release the pain. And the twin helps. The twin helps with that in terms of the feelings, because remember that unconditional love for the twin, the runner feels it too, but it's just more, it's more repressed in the runner usually, right? The chaser is more in touch with that unconditional love, right? But that unconditional love is what heals, will heal your heartbreak, right? It heals the heartbreak. Yeah, so this is recovering, right? Yeah. and self-care. So self-care. So both are dealing with that, right? So your affirmation, runner, is I release the pain and embrace healing. It's time to release the pain. Let the pain come up and surface to heal. Yeah. Okay. Anything else for the runner chaser? No, that's it. Okay. So let's go to... And pipe up if you're a twin flame, or you're on the twin flame journey. So I know that... okay. Yeah. Okay. Somebody say, yeah, the twin needs to forgive. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's good. That's good. Good. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's the secret, right? Anika is like that energy is stabilized, and the energy is neutralized. It comes into balance. Yeah. Okay. So let's go to, we did twin flames. Let's go to the generators. Okay. So let's see what the generators have to let go of to jump on this new timeline, this Pluto Aquarius timeline, where the train is leaving the station, generators. And are you going to be on it or not for the generators? Let's see. So pick a card for the generator. What you have to let go of for this Pluto and Aquarius. What do the generators have to let go of? And this is a good time to do that, right? We're in the full moon energy. The 19th is coming up fast. 4 more days. We've worked hard since 2008. We've been in the dark night of the soul as a humanity. All right? So what is the generator? What do our generator friends have to let go of to get on this timeline? Like committed to this timeline. What's our generator friends have to let go of? What do our generator friends have to let go of? What do the generator friends have to let go of? Here we go. The moon. You're going to let go of the moon. Okay, so the generators have to let go of the moon to jump on this new timeline. So what does the moon represent in tarot? Well, your deepest fears, right? Your deepest fears. Here. This is the subconscious. So generators, this would be a good plug for me here, is to go to this rebirthing webinar, because this is unloading all the subconscious fears that you took on when you were in the womb. This would be a great webinar for you, for the generators, if you respond with a yes or no. Okay, so it's letting go of fear, like deep fears, letting go of secrets. And this is the thing with emotional work, which I talked about in the online retreat, right? Is our insights and wisdom, like these secrets. Like, I need to know these secrets, right? These secrets, there's lots of secrets, and they come from our ancestors, right? There's lots of secrets that got played out in your childhood that you don't know about because they get buried so deep within the subconscious mind, right? That's where your memories are, in the subconscious mind. This is the storehouse of memories, right? So all those childhood wounding memories are held in there. So you do the emotional work. This is the moon. This is very emotional. The moon rules the emotions. You do the emotional work, right? Through meditation and other techniques you can use to get to clear your emotional body. You have the emotional clearing. You process the emotions through tears, right? Letting go. And then what comes after that is the wisdom. The secrets come. The secrets are come. The secrets are revealed after you do the emotional work, right? Always this happens 100% for me, right? The wisdom and the secrets come like right after, like, oh, that's why. That's why I'm like this. That's why my mother's like that, right? You get a lot of information doing this emotional work, right? And diving into the subconscious mind. So this is about letting go of anxiety too. If you have anxiety, you've got emotional work to do. Self-deception, how you're self-deceiving yourself. Now, Five of Swords, I forgot to mention at the beginning, this is self-sabotage. This also can indicate self-sabotage. So sabotaging yourself with your mind. I'm okay, everything's fine, other people had it worse than me, like just things like that, how you sabotage your inner work, right? Your inner work. Little tricks you play on yourself, the mind plays on, oh, I shouldn't do that. My intuition is telling me to do something, that I should act on this guidance, but I'm not because, I don't know, it's not the right time, and blah, blah, blah. All the ways you sabotage yourself from moving forward on your journey. Right? And what does this do? It blocks your intuition, right? This is also what it's saying. It's blocking your intuition. It's blocking your intelligence, your awareness, right? To let this go, right? And it's based in fear. So you got to let go of your fear, your subconscious fear, right here. Okay. And this is Pisces, right? It's ruled by Pisces, the moon. Yeah. Okay. And letting go of confusion too. Confusion. And confusion means not to be fused with the divine. Not to be, confusion is not to be fused with the divine. Yeah. So that's what it says, to let go of fear. And I'm pretty sure I've got a meditation on my YouTube channel. Like, just look it up. Just Google fear, Michael Neutrino, or Neutrino Astrology. Okay. Here we go. So letting go of hidden fears. And it's Pisces, and Pisces is like the 12th house, which is all about like secrecy. It's like, I don't know why I have this fear. It's just there. It's like it's time to meditate, do a meditation, or just spend some time this weekend if you can't come to the Rebirthing webinar, and just really like make some quiet time for yourself and listen, right? And listen. Okay, but it helps to be in group consciousness to do this work. Okay. Let's go for the manifesting generators. Okay. Why is the manifesting generator not coming up? Okay. I'm not seeing it. Okay. Can people see the manifesting generator overlay? It's like stuck. Just let me just check something here before I move on, because it's more challenging for me to okay, I'm gonna keep going. Okay, there we go. There, it's working now. Okay. 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 So let's do manifesting generator. And we're talking about what's blocking you. What do you need to let go of to get on the Pluto and Aquarius train? This new timeline. Okay. What do you need to let go of? We're going to see things happen with time too, right? Because Pluto in Capricorn rules time. Okay. What do our manifesting generator friends have to let go of for this Pluto moving into Aquarius? What do our manifesting generators friends have to let go of? What do they have to let go of, please? What do they need to let go of? Okay. Okay. So, the Knight of Wands. The MG's got to let go of the Knight of Wands. Okay. So what does this mean? Well, okay, so the Knight of Wands can be like overconfident. This is like the rules the fire signs, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. And the Knight of Wands energy to let go of, because we want to look at it, Knight of Wands. So this would be like the teenager self. Okay. The MG. So if you're ruled by your teenager, remember we have an inner family, right? We've got our inner child, but we also have our teenager self. So you may be too much in your teenager self, and this is arrogant, right? Our teenager self can be arrogant, can be reckless, can be a know-it-all, right? I know everything, right? And also passive, can be passive too, can be volatile, can be lacking self-control, right? So the teenager's not really, looking to towards the future, right? It's all about instant gratification. So to look at that, right? And not to look at it because the MGs can go, well, it means I'm passionate about something. So that's true, right? So you want to keep the good things about the Knight of Wands, which is passion, energy, courageous, heroic, free-spirited. But this is like what you want to let go of, is any kind of arrogance. Okay? And that's this 31, right? The 31 is in Mars. Mars is in Leo. So the 31, that's the shadow of arrogance. The shadow of arrogance. And it's like, I know everything, right? Arrogance is, I know everything. And what you're really saying is, my mind, MG, knows everything. Remember that the generators and the MGs, they've got the most conditioned minds out of all the other types. So this means they've got the most deconditioning to do. But as soon as they realize that their mind is not their power, right, and not to make decisions from their mind, which is arrogance, and drop down into their strategy and authority, which is, right, their sacral, and then whatever their authority is. As soon as they do that, they're going to be so in their power, So this is like, if we go back to Aquarius, right? And the Saturnian, this is the rebel, right? So it's the rebel. This is an archetype, right? The teenager self can be the rebel. And maybe that worked for you as a teenager, right? When you were a teenager and okay, I'm a rebel. I'm standing up for myself. I'm doing my own thing. I'm leaving my family of origin, right? I'm rebelling, right? You can't tell me what to do. This is the correct use of the teenager for sure, right? To keep your light, to keep yourself and your authenticity, for sure. There's this surge of energy as a teenager where you get your second chance, right? To really stand up for yourself. But as you go into adulthood, right, this can be detrimental to your spiritual journey. This rebel is the last to go, because it's part of an ego. It's part of your ego structure. So this rebel will go, I'm doing my own thing. You're not the boss of me, divine. You're not the boss of me. I'm not humbling myself to you, because humbling myself meant humiliation, right? It meant shame. When I was a teenager, when I was a child in my family of origin, right? So you got to dig this out. This Knight of Wands is the rebel in this particular energy, is the incorrect rebel, right? It's rebelling, and it comes from your childhood. It comes from your teenage. Your teenager has to grow up, basically, right? So you have to become the spiritual adult, MGs, the spiritual adult. And this means to humble yourself to your sacral, right? And whatever your authority is, and start making your decisions from that place, because arrogance is not going to get you on the Pluto and Aquarius train. It's not going to get you there at all. It's old. Remember, it's about letting go of your past. So please come to the Rebirthing webinar on Sunday so you can do it like a deep, deep let go and forgiveness of all of this stuff, so you'll be ready for when Pluto goes into Aquarius. But that's what I see here, is this rebel. The rebel does not want to submit. The rebel doesn't want to, and humiliation and humbling are two different things. And when you really start to let go, right, and let the divine do all the heavy lifting for you, you can relax, right? The MGs want to relax and use their energy correctly, right? So you finally just relax, let the divine do the heavy lifting for you, right? And you just respond, right? Just respond from one moment to the next, right? That your teenage self doesn't have to be taking care of business anymore, right? This is exhausting because it's inauthentic. This teenage self is not you anymore. This is the past. You got to let go of this past part of yourself. Is there anything else for the manifesting generators for that? Yeah, it's just a letting go. I know I'm just saying just because it's easier said than done, but there's so much power in humility, right? And that's the gift of this 31 is humility. And it's also about leadership in your voice, right? The 31, it's all about leadership in your voice. So your voice becomes more powerful because you are aligned with your authenticity. When you're aligned with your teenage self, you're inauthentic. That part of you is gone. You already were a teenager, and you're not a teenager anymore. Okay? It's time to embrace the new way of Pluto and Aquarius. Okay. I hope that changed my overlays. Do people see that it turned into the manifesting generator? I don't know. I've got like 4 screens up here. Okay. I'm not going to get hung up on this. Okay, let's go to the projectors. I'm going to go to the projectors. Okay. don't know what that means. I'm not going to play with it. Okay, projectors. Okay. Oh, it says generator. Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you, Rebecca. Okay. I want to fix this. Okay. There, it should say projector now. Hey? Okay. Are you with me? Can you hear me okay? Okay. Let me know. Okay. Oh. Okay, I'm still live. Okay. Overlays. Comments. Okay. Okay, there we go. Great. Okay, great. Okay. Okay. So projectors. We're looking at what you have to let go of for this timeline change. What to let go of. Okay. Okay. What do our projector friends need to let go of? What do our projector friends need to let go of? What do our projector friends need to let go of? Okay. Okay. So the projectors got the Ace of Swords here. And what to let go of for the projectors are confusion, getting trapped by confusion. Confusion. Right? Miscommunication. Miscommunication, hostility, arguments, I would say bitterness, because you're a projector, and destruction. So it's the opposite of clarity, right? So to me, it's letting go of needing clarity of mind, right? Letting go of needing clarity of mind. So this is invitation, remember? Recognition. Okay. So projector gets recognized. It's not a mental thing for a projector. It's not a mental thing to be. Recognition has nothing to do with your mind. It has everything to do with your whole being. Your whole being gets lit up. You totally get lit up. Right? Like a Christmas tree when you get recognized because it's energy. Pluto in Aquarius is all about embracing frequency and energy now, right? So you get lit up inside. It has nothing to do with your mind. So to me, it's letting go of the mind. Well, I need the mind to agree. I need the mind to give me the proof, right? And what happens here with this Ace of Swords is it gets you into confusion. And then you're back and forth. You're out of your power as a projector because you're giving all your authority over to your mind, right? So in terms of recognition, to remember that it's an energy and it gets you lit up, right? You totally get lit up here. Okay, so that's your truth. Your truth is going to come from your being, projectors, and not your mind. And not your mind. So a good thing to remember too is that success, do not look to your mind or not self for what success is. Well, success means this. And then your mind's given off all this conditioning, right? Of what you were told as a child by your parents, by your teachers, by your religion, right? And this gets you in confusion, and then you're missing, right? You're missing opportunities here. So that's what it looks like to me, is to not get locked up in the mind as a projector right there. And trust that clarity, because the thing with projectors, the projectors have powerful minds, as all the types. They have a very, very powerful mind. They can take in a lot of information. But there comes a point where you have to let this go, right? And not be searching. I'm surprised you didn't get the Page of Swords. That you have to let that go and then go into your aura, right? Like trust your aura type as a projector. Trust the recognition. Trust your feelings when you're recognized. And then go from there, but be not going to your mind for proof and validation. Because the mind will take you into like the House of Mirrors. It will take you into confusion, right? It will take you into doubt. Saturn in the 63, right? Yeah. Okay. Anything else? And know that truth will come, right? It will come as long as you are operating as a projector, like getting recognized, getting invited, following those invitations, that the clarity and the truth will come later. You want to go frequency first. Frequency first. Okay. And I think that's all I have for now. Let's go to the reflectors. Okay. Let's go to the reflectors, or the other types. So reflectors, we're doing a card, pulling a card for you, and the other types that didn't find their message, because the reflectors really are like inclusive of all the other types, of what you need to let go of to really embrace this Pluto and Aquarius energy. The reflectors. And please let me know if you're a reflector and what your type is. Okay. What do the reflectors need to let go of for this Pluto and Aquarius energy coming in strong? What do the reflectors have to let go of? Okay. Oh. That's the Ten of Wands. See there? So letting go of a burden. Letting go of a burden, reflectors. And boy, oh boy. I think all the other types can relate to this one too, right? Is this burden. Burden, burden, burden. Burden. Right? So this is a burden of responsibility. So look back, right? What have you been up to since 2008? What burden have you been carrying since 2008? Right? What duty, right? Obligations have you been carrying since 2008? What struggles? Right? And maybe you're feeling burned out. You're feeling burned out by these burdens. Now it's time to let them go. Let them down. Right? You can see in the image here, he's almost to the village. See? He's so close. He's so close. He's been carrying this since 2008. Pluto and Capricorn. Almost there. Almost there. Saturn and Sagittarius, right? Saturn rules Capricorn. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. And now it's time to put down the burden. Right? So it's not wrong that you had to carry this burden. But now it's time to let it go, right? Because all of us are heading into a whole new chapter with Pluto moving into Aquarius. So that's what it's saying, to let this go, right? Let it go, let it go, let it go. Put down those wands, right? Yeah, that support is coming, right? Support is coming, to know that. Right? It's going to get better. We're moving into a whole new energy here. Capricorn is like, you working, right? Capricorn's about working. It's the goat, right? Capricorn is all about, like, there's a job to do. We got no time to be doing internal work. We've got no time to do inner child work. It's the opposite of Cancer. We got work to do, practical, right? We got to get food on the table. We've got to think of survival, right? That's these 10 of Wands. So maybe you've been really focused on survival since 2008, right? Just surviving, keeping that body alive, paying your bills, just paying your bills and your expenses, and you keep going. Spiritual warrior, right? And now it's time to put down those 10 of Wands. And I think all the types can relate to this, that have been holding the light for so long, right? Since 2008. So it's time to let down those burdens, those 10 of Wands. Yeah, and to trust. I like the story of the Indian guru. Maharishi said this, right? That in India, they have the suitcase on their head, right? They carry their suitcase on their head. And they go into the train. And some would still have the suitcase on their head. And it's like, take the suitcase off your head and put it on the train, right? So take your 10 of Wands and put it down. You're being carried now. You're being carried and supported by the divine, which you have been all along, but like really in the 3D realm, like more and more supported by the divine. To trust that, right? Put the wands down. Let the divine do some of the heavy lifting. Yeah. Okay, 144 we got here. And I hope that you really receive some value from this live stream. Yeah. Oh, the manifestors. I forgot about the manifestors. Goodness me. Well, we can't go until we do the manifestors. Okay, so they're last. Okay, so this goes for you manifestors too. Let go of those 10 of Wands. So let's do a quick read for the manifestor. That's funny, I forgot about that. Okay. Okay. So what do the manifestors need to let go of? What do the manifestors need to let go of? And they got that. The manifestors have to let go of not listening to their intuition. High Priestess. The manifestors have to let go of keeping secrets. Right? The manifestors have to start listening to their intuition. They've got to let go of superficiality. And they've got to let go of this confusion. And remember, confusion means not to be fused with your intuition, right? So you've been receiving information. This is like to start really trusting those divine downloads that are coming, right? Uranus Uranus, Aquarius is all about divine downloads, and then you share, you inform, and then you go initiate. Okay? So that's what I got for the manifestors. Short and sweet. Okay. So, thank you everybody for joining in, and I hope to see you at the rebirthing. Rebirthing, birthing of the self. Powerful Kundalini Yoga and technology, and then you'll own it too. So ideally you want to be there live, but if you can't because of time zone, etc., you can do it on the replay, like you own it, but you want to do it at least like no more than 24 hours after we did it live as a group. Okay? So I will see you in the next video, and maybe we'll already be in Pluto and Aquarius then. Okay. Sat Nam Aloha, everybody. Bye-bye.